Christian. She was an American citizen and she was brutally murdered by Israeli forces. Yet compare these reactions from the US. The US ambassador to Israel wrote, "Very sad to learn of the death of American and Palestinian journalist Shireen Abu Aqla of Aljazeera. I encourage a thorough investigation into the circumstances of her death and the injury of at least one other journalist today in Jenin." Now compare this to the statement issued by the White House spokesman Ned Price regarding the killing of Ukrainian journalists by Russian forces. "We are horrified that journalists and filmmakers have been killed and injured in Ukraine by Kremlin forces. We extend condolences to all those affected by this horrific violence. This is yet another gruesome example of the Kremlin's indiscriminate actions." The two reactions are poles apart, and herein lies the problem. Yes, Shireen Abu Aqla was a Christian. Yes, Shireen Abu Aqla was an American citizen. Yes, Shireen Abu Aqla was brutally murdered like the Ukrainian journalists. But she was Arab. And that has caused hesitation in Washington and among some prominent US media outlets as to how to approach this matter and whether there should be unequivocal demands for justice. Abu Aqla was a Christian. She was an American citizen. But in the words of the reporters covering the tragic war in Ukraine, Shireen did not have blonde hair. She did not have blue eyes. She did not look like us. She did not look American. And this is why the original headline in the New York Times was, "Trailblazing Palestinian journalist dies at 51, instead of US citizen killed in cold blood by Israeli sniper." This is why an Israeli official celebrated to the Haaretz newspaper, stating that Israel's PR blitz had influenced mainstream media into changing their headlines from Shireen being killed to "the circumstances of her death are under investigation." However, it is also important not to blame the US entirely for this reaction. Washington and Tel Aviv see a reality in which Saudi Arabia's Mohammed bin Salman is taking steps towards normalization with Israel. UAE's bin Zayed has already normalized. Both these individuals have been absolutely silent on the matter of Shireen. Turkey's Erdogan, once affectionately referred to as a sultan in the Muslim world,